I think this 100-degree weather is just driving people insane, dude. I don't know. Um, and I think it's hitting me a little bit because today is my only day off and I can't seem to relax at all. I don't know why. I think that might be it. And also the fact that usually, so I get one day off a week. I usually work from like anywhere from 42 to 50 hours a week, depending on different things. And my only off days are Friday, so I guess also having an off day on Thursday is just like it's an abnormality for me. But no, this past couple of days, or at least this past week, let's just say, um, I'd been dealing with weirdos and maniacs, man, like straight up. The other day, this one guy came in and he was wearing some really fresh Jordans, but he kind of looked like shit. And he came in and he asked for change for a 50. And I'm like, we don't have any change, boss. Sorry, man. And he was like, well, I'm a Vietnam vet. And I'm like, oh, I don't see what that has to do with anything. You look like you were born during Vietnam, dude. You don't look like you were that old. And, and fucking, and so he kept like fucking like giving me his story about what he needs to 50 for. He's like, I'll buy a beer, man. I'll buy a beer. I don't even drink, but I'll buy a beer. I'm like, dude, it's not going to materialize money in the register. We don't have change. I wasn't being a smart ass. It's just now in hindsight. Like, I feel like the dude is trying to scam me. But especially after he said, he, well, I mean, first of all, he's wearing Jordans, but also like, I mean, he's dressed like a slob and he's telling me I don't drink beer. I just like something tells me that 50 isn't legit. That's known to happen like a bit. I don't work in the best of best areas, and people are just like as I said, I've been seeing a lot of maniacs outside too. Like there's just a lot of maniacs and weirdos roaming about. But so yeah, so this guy was giving me a hard time about it. And I was like, hey, it's not that I don't want to help you, dude. It's just like I can't. We don't have any change, or whatever. And then he's bothering my guests. He's like, hey, you got change for 50, and they're like, no. And then he starts like fucking being like giving him his story and everything, whatever. And then so basically, me and my coworker were getting him to leave, but he was giving us shit about it before he was leaving. He was like, hey, listen, I'm also a lawyer, right? I'll sue you for making me leave. And I'm like, no, you can't. All right, buddy. Okay. I wish you the best of luck with that. Please leave. He's like, man, you motherfucker. And I'm like, yep, I am indeed a motherfucker. I fucked your mother. Um, so yeah, he dips out, and then he was going trying the same shit with different restaurants across the way, and it was kind of amusing to see because we were calling him up. There was a restaurant across the street. We called them up as he was walking up there, and then he walked out like not that long after. It was pretty funny. He was leaving like literally like I don't know like a minute, like 1 minute max after he walked in there. He was fucking great. And then in the midst of all that stuff, in the midst of that weirdo being there, some guy calls the restaurant and he's like, "Hey, report any and every immigrant you have working for you. The United States is practicing witchcraft." And immediately, I hung up the phone. I'm like, dude, I'm not. No, no, I ain't trying to hear all that shit right now, dude. I don't give a fuck. Like, why? And it was just like stressing me the fuck out. I'm like, dude, am I going crazy? Like I don't understand who gives a fuck who's working anywhere, and I don't, like I don't know anything about fucking government witchcraft bullshit. I don't know anything. I don't care. It's not my concern. It was just really weird, and it was kind of pissing me off because I'm like, why the fuck am I like, you know what I mean? Why am I stuck with all these fucking weirdos? Anyways, so it wasn't really that weird after that, like that night, but yesterday that's when shit got fucking even more wild for me. So one of the first tables we had, because I came in to open yesterday, one of the first people, he sat at the bar and he was just ignoring everybody. He was dressed fine, but he was definitely mentally ill. He didn't give any pushback when we asked him to leave. But the thing is, I was waiting for him to bother someone before that because I didn't want to just kick him out for what. Like he was rambling about stuff that didn't correlate. He was talking about singing Michael Jackson in a children's hospital, when he was a children and building AC units and fucking whatever. And he asked for a lemon with his water. I'm like, yeah, sure, man. And then he just started eating the whole lemon. Like he ate the meat off of it first, and then he started like nibbling on the rind. And then I was like, okay, you know what? This guy's weird, but I'm gonna just wait a minute. I just can't do this right now. So he started asking our guests for whatever. So then we just kicked him out. He gave us no pushback, but he had a duffel bag with him. He picked it up and then he left. And then he came back asking about it. Hey man, I think I left my duffel bag here. Did I leave it here? I'm like, no, you picked it up and then you brought it home, or not home. I don't think he has a home. No, I'm sorry. I was like, no, you picked it up when you left. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he left. And I'm like, all right, well, at least he didn't give me shit. I hope he's okay, because he just seems very mentally fucked. Like, he seems out of it completely. And I hope he's good, because he doesn't seem like a bad dude. It's just he's not here, you know. House is something about the lights are on, but no one's home, you know. But um, maybe a bunch of rabbits hopping around. But anyways, so the worst thing that happened that made me just say, fuck it. Um, so a couple hours after that, this lady came in, and she looks like a real fucking winner of the game of life, dude. This lady, she gives the vibe of like she fucking snorts oxys and neglects her children and fucking and like brings dudes home and bangs them and fucking while the sun's still out while her kids are in the living room, fucking don't come in here, just give me your new dad for the next couple weeks type of shit. Fucking Cookie Monster pajama pants with holes burnt in them from Newports type of shit. That was her whole vibe. She looked like a fucking loser. I'm one to really talk, but the thing is, right, you don't judge a book by its cover. I sometimes you do. You got it. You have to sometimes, I just got that vibe from her, and I wasn't really, like, being too judgmental at first until she started, like... So, she was wearing this Heineken t-shirt, and she was like, I work for Heineken, I gotta work all night, and I'm like, yeah, I felt that, but the thing is, something in my mind told me she didn't work for Heineken, because, I mean, A, you pop up, and you're casually cussing, not even, like, how someone would do, I got a fucking blah, but she was like, hey, can you get me a fucking, lemon drop and a shot of vodka, you know? Like, it was just like that. It's like, it's just weird. Like, you're supposed to have decorum when you're working for a company and representing them, especially at a different restaurant. Like, I go to a different restaurant with my work shirt on, and unless they know me, like, ultra personally, then I'm not going to act like a fucking, like, I'm not going to be talking like that, but more importantly, like, I'm not going to be getting fucking hammered, because she literally ordered a lemon drop martini and a fucking shot of vodka. It's like, you're going to drink all that before you're going to work? You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing if you have a beer, but, like, you're going ham on liquor, and it's not even, like, fucking, it's not, they say it's 5 p.m. somewhere. It's not even it wasn't even, like, 3. It was barely 3, if anything. Um, like, it's a bit early to be going ham on liquor. You ordered those two things right off the jump. That's weird. And so, I was pacing it out, got her a shot, because that's the easiest thing to do. Sidetracked a little bit with some other important stuff at the bar, and then I made her lemon drop. And then, so she placed her food order after I gave her a martini, too. She didn't touch the martini. She just kind of babysat all of it for a little bit. And she placed her food order, pounded her shot, and then walked out. And so she left her thermos there at the bar. So I was like, okay, I don't think she's leaving, of course. Like, it's just usually people say something. Because I dipped out for a second also to do some work, but she didn't say anything. Like, she saw me as she was leaving, said nothing, just dipped. And then she came back right around the time her food was ready. It was good timing. She's eating her food. And then she asked me for another shot, and I'm like, okay, it's been long enough, I think. Like, I think she'll be fine. She'll just be buzzing a little bit. I just didn't want to fuck her over for her job, or with her job. So, whatever. I poured her another one, but, like, I used, like, a different glass, and I poured less. The shot glass, I mean, the glass I gave her originally wasn't a shot glass, but it was, like, thinner, so it's, like, more vertical, right? and the other one I used was like more horizontal. It was like a regular drinking glass, I guess, like really just for like not drinking glass like a pint, but just like a little short glass, like a shorter one that's like wider, so that way you wouldn't really be able to tell that there's less booze in there unless you have a trained fucking eye. But I doubt that with her, so I just poured a little bit less in there because I'm like, I don't want her getting fucking torn up, or at least I want to minimize whatever the tearing up of her liver. But so I poured that for her. I left, and I came back after a while. She was like, "Hey, where's my shot, bro?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I poured it out for you. It's right here." And she said, "No, I asked you for one, and then you just kind of walked away." I'm like, "No, I didn't. I mean, I walked away after I poured you one. Yeah, sure." I was confused, but I wasn't being a dick. I was being firm but confused. I was like, "No, I didn't do that." And she's like, "Yeah, you literally did." I'm like, "I did not. You're saying I'm lying to you?" And she's like, "I just give me another shot, man." Didn't say yes, didn't say no, just give me another shot. I'm like, "I don't think I'm gonna do that." Well, I didn't say it like that. I said specifically, I'm not going to do that. I didn't even say, I don't think I'm going to do that. No, I straight up told her, like, hey, I ain't doing that. You have a whole martini here and you have a shot over here. She's like, yeah, but I didn't drink anything before. Like, this is, like, you know, and this is where it all kind of gets muddled for me because, like, too much was happening too fast and my adrenaline was spiking. I didn't have a good feeling about this. So, I was just like, nope. I was like, nah, well, not yet, at least, So I walked away, did whatever I needed to do, cleaned a couple tables, talked to some people, or talked to the people I was taking care of. And then I walked back to the bar. She's like, hey, man, give me my shot. I'm like, not if you're going to talk to me like that, first off. I am not going to give you your shot after this. As a matter of fact, like, yeah, I repeated once again, like, hey, I didn't you didn't even finish these ones. Like, why would I do that? That's like, I can't do that. I literally cannot do that, and I won't. And then she starts getting more aggressive, talking about how apparently I don't know how to do my job, and blah, blah, blah. And then some guy in a suit comes up and sits at the bar, and he's a handsome guy, right? So she was like fucking flirting with him, and then for some reason, right, she was starting to slope. I think personally she took something before, like when she left. Like I know how drug people act, and I know how drunk people act, and I know how both act. She was acting like both. So her fucking ass, she was like slumping. She was starting to get food all over the bar, and she was sipping her martini really fast. And even though there was like not that much left in the glass itself, somehow she was managing to spill it everywhere. So I was like, oh shit, this is not good. You just scratched my balls real quick. I was like, this is not good. I'm not a fan of this. I don't like this situation. So I printed out her receipt and I'm like, hey, you're gonna have to pay and leave now. And then pretty much she's focused back on me and my coworker who had my back. My coworker's like, hey, he's not going to serve you anymore, man. Like he can't. None of us are going to serve you anymore. She's like, why? I'm like, you've been belligerent with us. You're raising your voice. You're being very accusatory and you're making this guy uncomfortable. I'm refusing service. I'm not going to overserve you, and this seems like you've had enough. And then, so when I said overserve, she's like, I'm not overserve. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, you're fucked up, bitch. You're fucked up. So after a minute, my coworker knows protocol. She's grabbing security already without even saying anything. I just gave her the look. I'm like. And then she went out and just grabbed security, and explaining shit to security. This lady's also, she refused to pay her tab. She literally stood up and was trying to grab up on that dude she was flirting with in the suit. She's on her way to the door, and before she could make it there, I pretty much blocked it off, right? I'm in front of the door, and she's trying to shove me out of the way a little bit. She's trying to move me out of the way, rather more like more on the movie side than the shovey side. So I'm grabbing the door handle and I'm pulling it because it's like you push it from the inside. So I'm pulling it close. She's trying to shove it. She's trying to pry me off of it. She's like, let me leave. Let me leave. I'm like, you're not leaving without paying, woman. She's like, I don't have to pay for shit. And I'm like, no, you have to pay for it. You have to. You ate here, you drank here, you're not getting shit for free. And then she's like, all right, fuck you. Walks over to the bar. And on the way there, the security guys, the security guy just came in. He's on his way to the bar too, I guess, because that's where she's going. So she's like digging around in her fucking purse. So I grab her thermos because she placed it back on the bar again. So I grabbed it, hid it behind the bar for a bit, and then she takes her debit cards out of her little purse thing, and then she just throws them at me. And then she started calling me the N word, like hard R, a couple times. Most of it with an A, but I mean, at first it was with the R, but I think she was like trying to cover it up with the A. Like, you didn't hear that. This is what I said. I said this 2 times just now. I said this 2 times, whatever. She called me the N word at first with the hard R, and then later on with the A, like saying I'm a broke ass. I'm not even saying that here, like, So, and she's not black by any stretch. Tan, white, or like fucking Mexican, I can't tell. But pretty much she threw that shit at me, so I was like, all right, fuck you, bitch. Hey, there's an automatic gratuity on everything because of FIFA, so you're paying me. Whatever. And then, so I paid everything out, balled up her receipt, and chucked it at her with her cards. And I'm like, get the fuck out. And she's saying that was everything that was wrong with this city. I'm like, bitch, you probably ain't even from here. And I'm not even from here. And what are you talking about, you fucking lunatic? So yeah, I dipped. After, like, I talked to my GM. I'm like, dude, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not, like, I'm supposed to be here till 8, but I don't even think I can do it. I'm just fucking mad, and no one's here right now. It's just all of us, so fuck it. I don't care anymore. He's like, you can go, just as long as you clean this one thing. I'm like, all right, okay, that's fair. So I cleaned it, left, got a little bit drunk, and then came home and passed out at 8 p.m., woke up at like 4 in the morning, fell asleep again. I didn't actually have to scratch my nuts, by the way, just letting you guys know. I'm just fucking with you. I was just like, kind of like, so I'm not touching my face with nut, sweat, eyes, hands, I don't know. Well, yeah, between that, we'd have weird incidents, like people just coming in for a little bit, like, hey, can I get a cup of water? I'm like, you got $2? No, y'all take EBT? No, we don't. Man, what the fuck kind of place is this? I'm like, it's a restaurant, dumbass. What do you mean? This ain't fucking 7-Eleven? Are you serious? Like, I don't even get it. I don't know. And also, I guess, I don't know, like some lady came in and then she literally walked in, threw up, and then left. Like, I shit you not, she walked in, threw up all over a table, and then just turned around and left. Like, didn't say anything, just blah. Well, maybe she said I'm sorry or something, but like she just lit that, like, I'm like, okay, cool. And I had to clean all that up. I don't know, man. I don't know.